And we are on our way to downtown Cochrane, walking distance from home to check out the fall show and shine, the Cochrane Classic. Cochrane Classic, sponsored by the Cochrane Classics Car Club. CCCC for the win. Absolutely gorgeous day today. Just some of the initial hints of yellow starting to appear in the trees, which is pretty late for this area. I feel like I've seen some of these trees in past years start turning yellow at the end of July. So the fact that they're just starting to do this here in early September, great sign. And we can just hear the brakes being released here on these locomotives. Looks like we're going to get to see a little train action before we get to the car show. So that's an added bonus. So while most normal people would be rushing to try and get to this intersection and across the tracks before the train starts moving, we're doing the opposite, and I'm slowing down so that we can actually see the train go by. Well, we almost got to the crossing in time. He must be running empty because he got up to speed pretty fast from a dead stop. So there we go, a little something for the rail fans in the audience. And just to show what a crappy rail photographer, rail fan, foamer that I am, I missed the mid-power. Clicked the button at the wrong time. There we go. Yeah, how many of you are actually old enough to remember going to a drive-in like that and getting the tray on the window? I am, but not old enough to remember them being on roller skates. 57 Fairlane. Now that's style. So yeah, we were at this show last in 2021, and it was much smaller, probably a product of the COVID era. Carries on through the back parking area here. Yes, fantastic paint. Quite a mix of eras, styles, hot rod versus restoration. entire parking lot of the old Rexall Drug completely full. That'd be a nice one for pulling the bowler. 73 Ford. I think I was gonna say I think I just fell in love, but till I saw the rims. 67 GMC. Yeah, this is my favorite dashboard of all time. That to me just is what a truck is supposed to look like inside. Well, here we go. Another of my era of Chev GMC trucks coming up. And it's got a for sale sign on it. 1972 C10. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Oh yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Now that would look sharp pulling into the campground with the bowler behind it. And it's even a four-wheel drive too. So you could take it out in the winter. Oh yeah. A couple prairie schooners here. The Buick and the Lincoln Continental. Oh man. Cruising the back roads of Saskatchewan on one of those would be a fantastic way to spend a summer.
Like sitting on a couch.
Uh-huh.
Down.
Yep. Where you measure it in dollars per mile in fuel consumption. But wow, are those luxurious. Hockey stick prop rod. Yep, yep. Classic AMA sticker. Wide white wall tires. Ooh, I like this too. 1972 Monte Carlo. Uh-huh. Yes. A&W did such a great job in cornering the market on car culture and cruising culture and oh yeah. It's pretty cool. And the Prairie Storm Chasers rig. Now the real reason I wanted to make sure we came back down this aisle was for this red and white Ford.
Probably similar to the one my parents had. What year is it?
I was just gonna see. Yeah, it's a 76.
Yeah.
Yep. Another one of my favorite dashboards of all time, mainly because my folks had a 78 Ford. And I just remember it being one of the newest vehicles they ever owned. And I just love that truck. And even in the newer GMCs, you can still see kind of the evolution of my favorite dashboard of all time in the style of these. It's not significantly different, but just different enough to not make the cut as my favorite of all time. Probably a little bit faster than Dano Canoe. And I do love the paint scheme on this one. Yeah, that's a great looking truck. I could get behind that. 66 Beetle. It's funny, when I was really young, like 12, there was a 62 or 63 Beetle at my uncle's auto wreckers, and I remember at that point I really wanted to buy one, even though I wasn't even old enough to drive. Never have owned one. World famous, we'll say that anyway, McKay's Ice Cream, lined up out the door as per usual, pretty much like that any day that you come by here. And it's on days like this when Main Street is shut down and everybody's just out enjoying themselves that you can still see the heart of Cochrane's small town here. Often lost in the shuffle of 37,000 people, but it's still there if you look. Oh, I like this too, 1940. Three-speed floor shifter. Yeah, that's pretty slick looking too. I like it. There you go, one of the early 1947s, one of the early post-war Jeeps, the CJ, civilian Jeep. I just want to take a moment and point out those gear ratios of like 5.38. I mean, nowadays, you know, if you've got a truck made for towing, you've got like a 410. So like this thing, wow, definitely built for torque, not for speed. 57 Pontiac. Another A&W Root Bear. There we go. Something for both of us. The Jeep for me, the green paint for you. Another 1946. So again, just after the post-war era, or at the start of the post-war era, I should say. Love the chubby chicken. Now, I don't know if it was the same in the States, but growing up, every family in Canada had a whole bunch of those A&W root beer mugs that they had stolen from their local A&W. Oh, I like this too. Not bad. Be a great little camping vehicle. Love the old Mercury trucks. And I love that color and that paint scheme. Pretty much love everything about this. We're just gonna focus on this one for a little bit longer here. 1966. Oh yeah. Well, I'm just having a moment. Give me some time here. And I'm very happy that so many of these late 60s, early 70s Chev GMCs are still around, waiting for the day when I can actually afford one. And I love this cooler underneath there. It's called the pleasure chest. I'll let you make up your own jokes here. And here's something I feel like we've talked before about, but you don't see a lot of old Dodge trucks for some reason. Lots of old Fords, lots of old Chevs. Not many of the old Dodges kicking around. And I don't know if it's just because they were more limited in their production run, or they just didn't last, or I just don't know why. But it's nice to see one out in the wild, sort of the wild. Judging by the license plate, this one's a 68. Very nicely done. I really do like the outside. Like that paint job, the bed liner. Although I feel old trucks lose something when you replace the original bench seat. It's just not quite the same. Trucks should have bench seats. Oh, I like this. The mint green VW bus. And here's one for our friend Mike Stobbs, Mr. Heated Jackets Quebec Garage with his Impala SS. And this just makes me think Bonnie and Clyde. 1930 Ford Model A. So it says this one here is all original paint, all original interior. Pretty sure the skull gear shift knob isn't part of the original interior, but great car, great survivor.
It's funny that
78 Gremlin. So yeah, everybody who made fun of me in high school for my 75 Hornet, I was just ahead of my time. Rambler.
AMC, yeah, you don't see a lot of those.
Yeah. There's all the specs for the car people in the crowd. I hate to say it, but it's all Greek to me. And I like this. If you see it on a trailer, it's been stolen. Because I have that same mentality that these things, these cars, they're meant to be driven, they're meant to be used, they're meant to be enjoyed. I have no interest in owning a trailer queen that never sees actual pavement. I like this too. Yeah, the towing mirrors, which I assume was probably part of the camper special package. This is another one that would look really great towing the bowler. The same Dometic fridge vents that we have on Bella the Bowler.
Don't lose them.
Yeah, never lose them. They're impossible to replace.
On the 350 chassis with a 1 ton
That's great.
Here you have your classic 2006 food truck. Great truck, great truck. Again, perfect vehicle for towing a vintage bowler. And I'm like, y'all are gonna have to start watching more of our videos if we're ever gonna be able to afford something like this.
Nice. Gotta get a picture of it here.
And here we go. It's not a car show unless there's a fire truck. This one looks like it was out of Saskatchewan, Delisle. I've always said having an old fire truck like this, like a bush buggy rescue type truck, would be perfect for camping. Tons of power to tow the trailer, all sorts of compartments for storing camping gear, eye-catching, and you can get through traffic easy. Just
Glad we got here early, so we're leaving.
I like this Jeep. Like the color, like the fact that it's a Jeep. That was like the first vehicle we saw when we came in, and it's probably still one of my favorites in the entire show. And with that, we've pretty much come to the end. We're back where we started. Didn't show you everything because that would have taken like 4 hours, but showed you some of the highlights. So there you go, a car show through the eyes of a non-car guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to be a car guy. I just lack money, mechanical knowledge, general car knowledge, pretty much all the things you need. Also don't have a car. Well, a car that would appeal to one of, you know, something that would be in a car show of that nature. But like we were saying earlier, the aforementioned Mr. Heated Jackets Quebec Garage, check out his channel. He has been doing a whole bunch of car shows throughout Saskatchewan over the course of the summer. So if you want to see a car show through the eyes of a car guy, he's the one to check out for sure. And, you know, friend of the channel as well, so why not? So that's going to wrap it up for this one. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing a black shirt on a hot sunny day and you're thinking, man, that guy's an idiot, there's a reason behind it. As of the recording of this video, September the 8th, 2024, 2 days ago was the 40th anniversary of the death of Ernest Tubb. So I decided to wear the Ernest Tubb record shop shirt that Emily bought for me when she was in Nashville. Decided to wear that in honor of Ernest Tubb. And there we go. We had some train action as we walked down to the car show. And now we get some train action on the way home too.